Hey guys, James here from TCGU University. Come back at you with another deck profile. Today we'll be going over Tam's Raiden deck. He played during the campus championship, so let's get into it. Okay guys, Raiden is a 625 with air, order, or water. He has 3 abilities, each only playable once per turn. E, destroy 1 foundation. Your opponent must play a non-attack card as their next form this turn or pass. E, destroy 1 foundation. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. And then E, if you have 6 or fewer foundations, ready up to 3 of them. He really likes to stay into like a 6 foundation range. And the deck's really built around dumping momentum really fast into your... Getting a bunch of momentum really fast and dumping it to where we limit our opponent. So let's get into it. Like I said, we're going to try and get momentum as fast as possible. So we're playing 1 Lokaluha. E once per turn. Flip 1 foundation. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Only playable if you have 0 momentum. This is really good because we can flip a card, give ourselves a momentum, and then blow up the face down to then get another momentum, which is super crazy in my opinion. Getting 2 momentum for the cost of flipping and just flip and destroying is pretty cool. Like I said, getting momentum fast. That's what we want. Next, we're playing 1 Fatable. It's a 2/5 with a 1 low block. R commit after you add any number of cards from your momentum to your momentum. After you add any number of cards to your momentum, you add 1 card from your hand to your momentum as well. Which means if you have both of these on the field on like turn 1 and like 1 foundation, you can do the cool thing on the foundation, and then go cool. I'll flip it, gain a momentum. I'll respond, gain another momentum. Enhance, I'll destroy my face down I just made to get another momentum, which means we have 3 momentum in the span of just having 2 cards on, just having 2 assets. It's super, super cool. Actually gave me a lot of ideas just now for a bunch of other things. So one of the other cards we're playing to get momentum really, really quickly is Out of Mercy. Out of Mercy, we mainly use it's a 2/4 with a no block, but we mainly use it for the top ability, which is E. Flip, if you have 6 or fewer foundations, add 1 card from your hand to your momentum. So this also adds another card to our momentum, which is crazy, crazy. So that means just by having this, 1 other foundation, and this, we can get 4 momentum for the cost of flipping 2 cards and destroying 1 of them. Like you can get momentum really fast in this deck. So why do we need that momentum? I'll tell you why. For Casa de Leviathan. Casa de Leviathan is a really cool attack from the new Soul Calibur set. It is a 5 diff, 3 control, 1 high block, 7 high for 5 charge fury weapon. E, discard momentum. Destroy 1 of your opponent's foundations. Your opponent may discard 1 card or lose 2 vitality to cancel this effect. This enhance is playable any number of times this enhance set. Meaning, you can dump all of the momentum you've gained to just destroy your opponent's field. Or if they want, they can discard or pay vitality. But if they discard, that means they're not going to be able to block this. And if they lose vitality, you kind of did your purpose anyways. Each of those momentum was just basically said, discard momentum, burn your opponent for 2. Which is also a very nuts ability in general. Then its other ability is E, if your opponent is in deadlock or is at desperation. You get to add 2 cards from the top of your deck to your momentum. Meaning you just fuel this even more. Which means maybe one time you might burn your opponent into desperation. And then get 2 more momentum to then do more burning and more stuff. Like the idea is to get momentum as fast as possible and blow our opponent out of the water. Like, quite literally. One of the other reasons we need momentum is for our Dancing Tempest. Combos with a charge. It's a 5/1. That's right. It's a 1 control check. It's a 1 low for a block. And it's a 2 high for 5. Multiple 2 weapon. Combo E. Multiples of this attack get +4 speed, +4 damage, and gain flash. That means if you get your 2 momentum really fast, and this is the second card you played this turn, combo with the charge, you get a 2/5 that goes into a 6/9/6/9, basically unblockable if you played it right. 6/9/6/9 on your multiples is nuts. Especially, I mean, it is a 1 check, so like you expect it to be nuts, but like I think just giving something 4/4 for free is crazy. Giving a flash afterwards, nuts. It's actually one of the things I hate about this card is they gave a flash. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be playing this card, but if you ever get killed by this card, it just doesn't feel right, you know. Next, we're playing 4 Proud Nose to kind of protect us from this 1 check. Proud Nose says our destroy discard momentum. After you check a 1, recheck it. This just basically says that you may not fail if you check a 1. And sometimes that's kind of crucial, especially like when I said we are trying to stay around the 6 foundation range, which means if we play this 5, or like say this, since this does have to be the second. If we play this on a 6 and we check a 1, like that's committing 5 cards, which means we have to commit almost all of our entire staging area. I get that our 1 ability says ready 3 foundations and all, but how about just trying not to commit all of them in general and just doing it later? Just being able to make sure we don't check bad is super, super cool. We're playing 1 Swordfish. Swordfish is a very good defensive piece. Add this card to your momentum and add this attack to its owner's momentum. This either gives you more momentum to do cool things or gives you momentum and gets rid of a problem attack for your opponent. One of the cool things you can do with this is enhance destroy foundation. Your opponent must play a foundation and then go, cool, I'll Swordfish your attack away. And basically you make sure your opponent has breaker 1 on their next one and you got rid of their current attack, which means they have to figure out what they're going to do. Next, we're playing 1 Acheron and Nirvana. This card has the ability to turn off keywords, which is really cool. Stop your reversal, stop your stun, powerful EX, stop all that cool stuff. And then it also has the ability to ready 1 foundation that has not been readied. So you get to ready one of the other cards that isn't Raiden's. Or you ready with this first and then ready with Raiden. Because Raiden doesn't have the restriction of hasn't been ready this turn. So you can ready the same things over and over. Which is really cool if you have a bunch of cool commit abilities. And then the last asset we're playing is Flambear. Flambear is a 0/5, 1 mid-block, breaker 1 weapon card. It basically says give +1 or -1 to any of your attacks. And then if it has that ability for every zone. So +1, -1 speed to a mid, +1, -1 to a high, +1, -1 to a low. And then, so like you can, if your opponent changes zones a lot, it's really good defensively. But if they don't, it's just a constant -1 speed on board, which just means things are easier to block and you don't have to commit as much for Raiden. Onto the other main attacks of the deck. We're playing 4 Pay on Thrust as a very good lead-off attack. It's a 4 high for 4. It's a 4 diff, 3 control, charge, punch, weapon. If this attack is completely blocked, add it to your hand after it resolves. Your next combo attack this turn gets -2 difficulty and +2 damage. It's super strong. It makes it to where you either are going to deal 4, deal 2, or play it again. Which is just crazy because, like, guaranteeing 4 damage means you're guaranteeing momentum, which means you're guaranteeing your opponent's closer to death. Super cool card. We're playing 3 Electric Fly. Electric Fly is a 5/3, 5 mid for 3, or 5 mid for 4. If you have 6 or fewer foundations, this attack gets +4 damage, and your next attack this turn gets +4 damage as well. So as long as you stay below 6, this is a 5 for 8, and your next one gets +4, meaning your next one is going to be crazy good, which is why it's one of the other better lead-off attacks in our deck. One of the cool, not like lead-off attacks, but cool like lead-in attacks. This leads into something else to be cooler. It's a 5/3, 5 high for 5. If you have 6 or fewer cards, it's only a 4 diff. It has no block. It's a charged throw. You can discard X momentum to commit X of your opponent's non-character cards. So if you don't have a cast or a thing and you're going to do something else, you can ditch all of your momentum to commit your entire opponent's board, which is also very good. The Deadlock E gives it +5 damage as well. You'll probably never be a deadlock. Your opponent will never be a deadlock, so don't worry about that. 3 Lightning, just Lightning. It's a 4/3, 5 mid for 2. Charge, range, stun 2, which still stuns more of your cards on your opponent's board. Discard momentum, add one of your opponent's commit foundations to their card pool. Adds to that progressive. And then Deadlock, you can add one of your opponent's foundations to their card pool as well. So you basically get to add stuff too if you're at Deadlock. If not, it's a cool 5 mid for 2 that sometimes your opponent might need to have to block. And then the last attack we're playing is 3 Vicinity Blast. Vicinity Blast is a 5 mid for 5. Discard 1 momentum if you have 6 or fewer foundations. Add 1 charge attack that is not named Vicinity Blast from your card pool to your hand, which is super cool. And then destroy X foundations. This attack gets +X damage. So basically, this card allows you to build past Deadlock or past your 6 foundations on your opponent's turn to play good defense. And then if they like decide not to do anything, because a lot of our cards say destroy, so we can go in and out of 6 foundations pretty easily. Build into 9, come back down to 5, build into 7, come down to 6. Like it just, there's this cool fluctuation game going back and forth. And this just says if you do overbuild and your opponent doesn't do anything, you can just spam delete that board and be back to where you want it to be and still get something out of it. We got 3 Sealer of Evil. Sealer of Evil is a 2/5 with a 2 mid block that says commit, seal, and commit one of your opponent's evil foundations. So we get to get rid of a problem evil card. Or commit, this tech gets -1 damage if I have 6 or fewer foundations. This tech gets an additional -2 damage as well, which is super, super strong because it allows us to kind of take less damage. We do only have 25 health, and we don't need to be face tanking all the time, which is really rough because sometimes you just kind of have to face tank. We're playing 4 Saved by a Child. This has 2 destroy abilities, so we know it's going to leave no matter what we try to do. It's a 1/5 with a 2 low block. Destroy if you have 6 or fewer foundations, which we normally do. This tech gets -4 speed. And then destroy, this tech gets -2 speed, playable while committed. So either you can destroy it if you have 6 or fewer and give -4, or if it's committed, you can play it and give -2 to something. It just means you're definitely going to block something at least that one time a turn. 4 God of Thunder. We want to stay out of the 6 foundation. We want to stay in that 6 foundation range. And being able to get rid of cards we don't need anymore is super needed. Especially when we get most of our advantage in that 6 foundation range. We need to be there as long as possible. To Despise All Evil. This has a good enhance and good fluctuation with our deck. It's a 2/5 with a 3 high block. Your turn, destroy 1 committed foundation. Your opponent commits one card in their staging area. 1 card. So this can commit your opponent's character, commit assets, stuff like that. It just says commits 1 card. So you can start blowing things up. You don't need to commit 1 card in your opponent's staging area, which is super strong and leads into other cool things. 3 Inner Neutrality. Has 2 destroy abilities. It's a 2/4 with a 2 low block. Destroy, your attack is +2 speed, +2 damage. And then destroy, this attack is -2 speed, -2 speed, -2 damage. So either you can damage hate and get into 6 foundations to be able to do the cool ready stuff, or you can pump your stuff to do the same thing, really. Like there's a lot of cool possibilities when you bounce yourself in and out of the foundations. For Future Poolside Date. It's a really strong card. It's a 1/5 with a no block that says gain 2 vitality, only playable with the top card of our discard pile. When we destroy so many foundations, it ends up being on the top a lot. And then discard 1 card. This tech gets -X speed. X equals 8 minus your printed hand size. Playable while committed. So you get to really speed hate some more, but we mainly use it to try and keep ourselves alive a little longer. You can do this and then go ahead and destroy it. I'll gain 2. Cool. I'll face tank. I'll gain 2 more. Like there's a lot of cool possibilities you can do with this that get to keep yourself alive. We got 4 Formidable Task. Formidable Task is a very cool card on defense. It has the ability of R card pull. After you block with this card, you can add to your staging area committed. Then remove, seal your opponent's earth, fire, or evil attack. Sealing attack's really cool. This allows us to add this to our staging area during our turn and then give us more things to destroy with Raiden and still keep us at the 6 foundation range without having to lose too many cards. 1 Familiar Faces. Familiar Faces is a 3/5 with a no block. First you can commit to give an attack 2 speed, only playable if you have at least 1 face down card in your card pool. And then R destroy, after your opponent plays an ability on an action card, cancel its effects and discard from the card pool. This just basically says we can't get banged. Our character only does things once per turn, and we really need it to do those once per turns. So making sure we don't get banged is high priority. And then the last card we're playing is Raiden Special. It's Ageless and Wise. It's a 1/5 with a 2 low block. That says Raiden E commit. This attack gets -3 speed. Guaranteeing that we're going to get to block something this turn. It's super nuts card, spam, and it protects our foundations from our opponent's choice destruction. When we want to sit at 6 foundations, we get to sit at 6 foundations. Thanks again for checking out the profile, guys. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/TCGU University. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let Tam know what you think about his Raiden deck down below. And as always, guys, stay learned.